Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bob Carpenter.
I think I've spent more time rehearsing that than almost anything else. So it just shows you how coordinated I am, Michael. Michael T. and the GS1 Connect Band, huh? Great to have you guys back with us. We really appreciate it. And welcome, everybody. My name's Bob Carpenter. I'm the president and CEO of GS1 US. And it is my great pleasure to welcome you to Austin, Texas, the wonderful city of Austin, and to GS1 Connect 2015. Your commitment to this event means a lot to us. And we want to thank each of you for taking time away from your demanding schedules to be a part of this year's Connect. We know your time is valuable. That's why the team at GS1 US has worked hard to make this year's Connect better than ever. None of this would be possible without our sponsors, so we want to thank them for all of their support. And when you see them, make sure you thank them too, whether in the session, the exhibit hall, or the networking event. So thank you. Okay, we've built a great number of events and discussions for you over the next few days, including 5 individual subject tracks in grocery, food service, healthcare, retail, standards, and solutions. These feature over 64 different sessions over the next couple days and over 132 different speakers. We have 32 different trading partner roundtables, 19 how to do business sessions, an Ask the Expert support station in the exhibit hall, our GS1 Standards Clinic, 8 different sessions in our technology theater, and an advisory services office in the exhibit hall where you can go to discuss specific data quality problems you may be having with our experts. And while we have facilitated many of these events, this is first and foremost a user-driven conference. From the industry tracks to the trading partner roundtables, the next few days are designed to help you move your business forward. Sharing best practices and networking is one important byproduct of Connect, so you don't want to miss 2 important events. First of all, this evening, after the sessions conclude, please join us to attend the welcome reception down at the exhibit hall. And tomorrow, our Connect on Rainey Street event tomorrow night, it's a chance to experience some of the local Austin flavor as we shut down Rainey Street just for you. Trust me, you do not want to miss this. It's going to be a great evening tomorrow night. So, Connect has a history of providing a forum for thought leadership. And continuing this tradition, we have lined up 3 great keynote speakers to share experiences and insights that bring our conference theme of innovate, collaborate, and transform to life. Today, we have Guy Kawasaki sharing his thoughts on the art of innovation. Tomorrow, Jennifer Golbeck speaks with us on the topic, Going Big, Transforming Business with Quality Data. And on Thursday, we'll help close things out with Luke Williams, who's going to be reviewing the disruptive age, thriving in an era of constant change. You know, exposure to new ideas and new perspectives like these really set the stage for change. That's why I hope you'll join me in attending these important keynote sessions. Also, we're using this Connect to make a few important new introductions. First, our newest discussion group, which is GS1 US Cash Visibility. There's a panel on Wednesday afternoon that will feature leaders from JP Morgan Chase, Dunbar Armored Carriers, Walmart, and also the Federal Reserve Bank. They will share the advantages of cash visibility, from cash tracking accuracy to improved speed and automation of business processes, and the potential value of cash visibility for retail, including faster provisional credits and better security. Second is a new tool, GS1 US, the new tool we call the GS1 US Attribute Explorer, that we are launching to help industry manage search and discovery of the ever-growing product attribute universe. The GS1 US Attribute Explorer is a centralized, web-based repository that houses thousands of attributes and is designed to help users understand all standardized attributes that are available today. You can learn more during our session Wednesday morning. Third is a new standard we call Simple Product Listing. In a world where your product data now also serves as your virtual packaging, Simple Product Listing is a standard allowing brand owners to list products one way, helping to improve search and facilitate an easier buying experience for the consumer. Please join us Wednesday morning to discuss this important new development. And finally, data quality. As you heard from our members highlighted in the video, we are increasingly challenged to maintain high-quality product data, especially as the consumer demands more to make purchase decisions. To meet this need, there's a data quality super session on Wednesday afternoon that I really urge you not to miss. So that's a rundown of the conference just in a few minutes. Whether you're new or returning to Connect, you're part of a large and diverse group. GS1 US serves over 300,000 different businesses in 25 industries across the United States, and that diversity is reflected today, here today, in this room, with over 1,200 participants here in Austin this week. Industry collaboration on standards and best practices creates a network effect and economies of scale that help each of us meet our shared challenges and be in a position to seize new opportunities. Your understanding of the power of collaboration is the reason many of you come back year after year, and why many of you have been committed and involved to working with our peers, your peers rather, in the GS1 industry engagement initiatives, work groups, discussion groups, or serving on one of our executive leadership committees. And for that participation and engagement, we thank you. So let's take a closer look at why businesses, regulators, and GS1 US are working together. Ultimately, it's really about meeting the consumer's demand for content. The world is changing, and that change is accelerating. You heard Randy Sally of Walmart talk about the pace and the need for speed in our opening video. And Sanjay Sarma from MIT mentioned that we have to be prepared for this new world. There's a perfect storm of factors that are disrupting how data is being generated, shared, and contextualized for consumers. Mobile and consumers' rapid adoption of mobile technology. Social media, who we trust and how we make decisions. Location-based technology and geofencing in retail. Sensors and wearables. And cloud-based data storage at a cost that is now approaching zero. What does all this disruption mean for us? One thing is for sure, it's moving so fast, if you fall behind in giving consumers complete, accurate content, your brand will be less relevant than before, and it will be harder to close the gap with your competitors. One example is how many leading brands offline are not leading brands online, given shortcomings as to how they leverage content to be relevant online. How do you ensure your data becomes relevant, useful consumer content? We believe there are three imperatives for all of us. First, unique product identification, not just for business to business processes, but also for business to consumer, B2C. The second, easy ways to share content, like the Global Data Synchronization Network. And third, ongoing data quality business processes and audits. And that's why GS1 US is involved. We bring all the stakeholders together to collaborate on these critical issues. And by leveraging GS1 standards, solutions, and services, we find common ground and help the entire industry move forward, finding opportunity in disruption. As consumers today, we not only consume data, we also create it. As an analogy, it's like a meal you're eating that simultaneously gets bigger after each bite. In the case of data, that meal is growing exponentially. So fast that 90% of the world's data was created just in the last 2 years. Another example is Facebook, where users share nearly 2.5 million pieces of content per minute. You get the point. A lot of data. But not all that data is relevant for consumers. Relevant data is information that can be linked and shared with other information, creating content and context. For example, information that helps search, compare, and make the right product purchase. That's why we first turned to search and search engines, to make the huge universe of data relevant as we typed in the context of how we wanted it presented to us in that search field. But unfortunately, search alone cannot fulfill the need, as reports show only 20% of the data on the web is cataloged for search. Imagine how much better search would be if 100% of the web's data was standardized and cataloged for search. Let's take a look at how we shop. So today's consumer is at the center of a much more complicated network of purchasing pathways. We routinely search aggregated sites, and then we disaggregate information into our own relevant applications, consulting multiple websites and reviews to make the best possible purchase. Let's take a typical example. We do this every day. We go online to search, we link to different websites, we look for different product reviews, perhaps we check out our Facebook friends' reactions to different products we're evaluating. We look at a comparative shopping engine to compare price. We make a decision to buy online. We decide to take delivery in store. Thousands of different pathways and permutations that we can take, but each one has a digital experience that includes search, discover, buy, oftentimes a post-purchase review, and sometimes even a return. It's a complex ecosystem that is not only fragmented, but very dynamic. Nearly 40% of shoppers report technology's greatest impact is in the discovery phase, where content is critical. This means the digital representation of a product needs to be the same in potentially thousands of different places. And the digital presence needs to be updated in all those places at the same time to create a successful omni-channel experience. Complicated. How can this happen? Now more than ever, information needs to be standardized so it can be linked and shared automatically across all those purchasing pathways. Without this interoperability via GS1 standards, we risk having product data, price, and images be inconsistent in store, online, and across social media touchpoints. To make this happen, we have to work together. It's a caused phenomenon. It will not happen organically on its own. And GS1 standards provide the scaffolding to help us all build trust, manage risk, and optimize communication. Barcodes and data have enabled the convergence of B2B and B2C, or that convergence of the physical and the digital worlds. While it began with the one-dimensional UPC, we now talk about online structured data that increases search optimization. Wegmans and J.M. Smucker are great examples. They have both chosen to use structured GS1 standard data in their websites for thousands of items. As a result, their search rankings and content have improved, helping consumers more easily find their products. eBay provides another great example. Increasing the accuracy of listing products with unique standard identifiers is vital to improve the marketplace experience between all buyers and sellers. That's why eBay has informed sellers that beginning June 29th, listings of branded items in new condition will be required to include the Global Trade Item Number, or the GTIN. For brand owners, similar situation. They have product information that needs to be distributed differently to a broad set of stakeholders. For example, brand owners have to get product data to perhaps Amazon, the US government, many different internet application providers, retailers, and perhaps other third parties that manage their artwork. Each stakeholder wants to consume data in a different way. And data can be either private or public, which determines how it can be shared. By using the GS1 Standard Global Data Synchronization Network, or GDSN, brand owners can have data in a standard format so that it can be shared based on how stakeholders want to consume it. GS1 certified data pools like One WorldSync enable the immediate electronic sharing of standardized, up-to-date, and accurate information as a single source of the truth. Let's face it, the way consumers and we all make decisions today has undergone a seismic shift. I was a few months back at a meeting where KPMG presented a great slide that summed it up from our point of view, which is your grandmother buys on availability or bought on availability, your mother bought on brands, but your daughter, she buys on attributes. We are making progress, working with industry to implement a roadmap that's bringing everyone along. So let's take a look at how we consider that roadmap in getting from here to there. So we believe there are 3 phases that industry needs to take as they increase engagement with the consumer, the x-axis, while shifting data from a cost of doing business to content that becomes a strategic asset, the y-axis. For phase 1, we have to gain control of data quality as the foundation for in-store checkout. The retail, grocery, and consumer packaged goods industries have taken the lead in recognizing that data quality is an industry opportunity and not a challenge to be addressed one-to-one between trading partners. These companies are working hard to align their data governance processes and education in order to ensure that the physical product matches the digital data. That's the first step in the shift from data as a cost of doing business to data as a strategic asset. Both Unilever and Clorox will discuss their learning during our data quality super session tomorrow afternoon. IPC Subway in the food service space provides another great example where they have streamlined operations at more than 42,000 restaurants utilizing GS1 standards. Data entry time was reduced by 26%, and product data discrepancies via GDSN were reduced from days to just a few hours. Now, sometimes the checkout is a little more significant, like in healthcare. Medical manufacturers, distributors, hospitals, and doctors understand how critical data quality is and have been working together to ensure accuracy for the 5 rights: right drug, right patient, right dose, right route, and the right time. By leveraging GS1 standards for location and product identification, medical device manufacturers like Becton Dickinson have worked to create the perfect order of efficiency and accuracy in the supply chain. Leading providers such as Intermountain, Kaiser Permanente, Mayo Clinic, or the Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady Health System are integrating information from point-of-care scanning all the way through to the patient's electronic health record. This delivers better outcomes while also creating visibility between providers, payers, but most importantly, the patient. For phase 2, we need to create enriched data for e-commerce to make sure what goes online matches what she finds in the store. For over 3 years, GS1 US has been working with industry to establish a single taxonomy for listing products and attributes between brand owners, trading partners, and retailers across sales platforms of all types. The GS1 US Simple Product Listing Standard is a common, search-friendly language that web and mobile applications can easily understand. It allows business to list products the same way across all demand-side partners, to get products to market faster, to help everyone manage data more efficiently, and to deliver a better buying experience for consumers. Simple product listing will help ensure that products are accurately represented across all the sales channels and are more easily discoverable by both search engines and consumers. Let's talk next quickly about web-ready products, because making products web-ready is still a bottleneck for retail today. Not all attributes, packaging, and images are available, accurate, and standardized for retailers or their trading partners. To meet this need, our GS1 US General Merchandise and Apparel Industry Engagement Initiative recently launched voluntary e-commerce guidelines for exchanging extended attributes. These guidelines help all trading partners to improve their current internal capabilities and focus on the product attributes consumers want most for online buying decisions. Now, for phase 3, we're able to move all the way to bright with omni-channel, or as Sanjay Sarma would say, omni-everything. Not only are we able to aggregate data from multiple sources, but also share accurate content with third parties that is consistent across platforms. Here are some examples. When it comes to fulfilling online orders at store locations, Macy's believes it's important to take a crawl, walk, run approach. And that's why they tested fulfillment in their stores to guide when and how they expanded. Macy's has leveraged location information with product data to identify where merchandise was not moving well and fulfill demand from those stores to avoid markdowns. Finally, radio frequency identification, or RFID, leveraging GS1 serialized identifiers, has helped Macy's dramatically improve their inventory accuracy and sell to the last item. Many other retailers across multiple industries are experimenting with click and collect to generate more in-store foot traffic and online commerce. These retailers are succeeding by aggregating information across a diverse number of sources to satisfy the shopper while keeping the online and the in-store experience consistent. And the retailers rely on brand owners that can provide accurate, complete product content. At GS1 US, we believe that getting this retailer, brand owner, and consumer ecosystem to function begins with a foundation of information standards. One final example, which is American Express, who recently announced they are teaming up with marketers to launch Plenty, the first cross-brand loyalty program that allows shoppers to earn and redeem rewards. Now, talk about collaboration. This loyalty coalition program, the first of its kind in the US, was launched just last month and includes a whole roster of companies like AT&T, ExxonMobil, Macy's Nationwide, and many, many more. It's free to join and works with all accepted payment networks, including MasterCard and Visa. Now, what is also significant is that American Express will be using a GS1 standard, the Global Service Relation Number, or GSRN, to identify uniquely the consumer. Our work with American Express was approximately 2 years in the making and is another example of aggregated data to serve the consumer better. We are making progress, but the pace is accelerating. Smart devices and wearables represent a potential phase 4 on our roadmap when content meets context. And if we're unable to move from checkout to enriched to aggregated data, we're not going to be able to get there. We now have data that represents who, what, where, why, and how of consumers' needs, and it is being combined with product data to generate consumer insights. This is happening through an ecosystem of things that talk to each other and talk to us. Gartner indicates that by 2020, there will be 25 billion connected devices that know your health status, how much you slept last night, your location, your shopping behaviors and preferences, and much, much more. And this information can provide the context for how consumers want the data presented to them. So, there are many possibilities to improve the experience for today's data-demanding consumer. But none of this happens without an attention to unique product identification, data quality, and scalable standard ways to share data. By now, you may have seen images of what we call Standardsville in the hallways or in the exhibit hall. And for GS1 US, it's our visual symbol of what happens when context meets content around data. Standardsville is a place where all of the trading partners are able to share accurate, complete, and relevant information openly in order to do business. Standardsville represents a community where trading partners collaborate and freely share data, understanding that what differentiates them is how they use that data to deliver outstanding products to consumers. Our expression is collaborate on content, compete on product. Just as GS1 standards are scalable, so is Standardsville. That means by using GS1 standards and best practices, the value you'll find in Standardsville is available in every town and every commercial enterprise in the US and around the world. We encourage you to learn more about Standardsville in the exhibit hall industry zones and speak with our team members to understand how you can get engaged. And we hope that each of you make the most of the next few days here in Austin to innovate, to collaborate, and transform your business.